Kevin asked a question. What I'm going to do while I'm talking is I'm going to show you a video. The question is this. I wonder if you can talk about the value of the push press versus strict overhead press as you see it, with an eye on general health and fitness rather than for a tool of improved sports performance. You don't offer the push press as a variation of the armor building formula, so I wonder if you think there's any value to it. You know, it's interesting you ask that because in Pavel's book, Return of the Kettlebell, he actually quotes me because I'm a huge believer in, so in the video I demonstrate the three basics, okay? So there's the clean and press, which everybody does. Then if you add a little bit of leg to it, we call it in our world the push press. And if you decide to catch it, so you add a little leg to it and then you dip underneath it, that's called the push jerk. Now, I didn't realize until I put the bells down that they were mismatched bells, even though they both had the same yellow tape around it, but I did okay. I think the push press is, I mean, it's an exercise. If you go back to all my Strength and Health magazines, the push press is just something you did because, and as I say in Return of the Kettlebell, because you can use more weight. And there's value in using more weight. I mean, if you're stuck as a male with a 16 kilogram bell because you can't go from here to here, you know, chase it with a 20, 24, and 32 with a little leg, and you'll be a lot happier long term. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of it, done with good reasons and not, and just don't pretend that's your actual, you know, max, you know, if it's an all leg lift. Kevin goes on, I ask, as I'm not a very good strict military style overhead presser, just despite wanting to be one. All my efforts over the years have been the strict style, but I'm starting to wonder if sticking to the strict overhead press is giving more value. Then he says something really interesting. I'm 6'3", so I'm wondering if limb length is playing a part. Yes. And that's why I find it difficult. Or is it just maybe my excuse? Yeah, there's no question, Kev, that, I mean, the taller and longer you are, the harder it is. It's just physics. I mean, you know, I've talked a lot about training members of the National Basketball Association and, you know, trying to teach those guys how to squat. And it wasn't that they didn't have the ability to squat. It's just that their levers are so long. The squat takes a long time because it is, you know, it's almost like an unfolding, you know, like, you know, one of those movies where a big contraption is a little tiny thing and then it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's amazing to watch. Yes, Kevin, height can be a factor on lifting, no question. You know, you don't tend to see a lot of really tall people being the best and brightest in powerlifting and Olympic lifting. Now, certainly, there's examples with super heavyweights, but normally, it tends to reward, the shorter limb people, just because it does. In the same way, basketball and volleyball reward taller people. There's no surprises here. So, folks, if you're doing the ABF and you get stuck and you decide to add a little leg, you have it with my blessing. Just remember to acknowledge that in your notes. Make sure you have some, make sure you have some honest parameters about why you're doing this and how heavy you're going. There's a video of me, Bigger, Faster, Stronger has it, where I behind the neck jerk 385 for 5. And I had spotters, which made the difference. But, you can use your legs that's 175 kilos for my non-American friends. You can push a lot of weight. You can snap a lot of weight over your head. But when you go back to strictly trying to push it up, the rules change a lot. Thank you. Good question. All right.